my name is Madison Hardy, and I am the Student Body Treasurer, and I would like to welcome you to the Class of 2020 graduation. I know that the end of our senior year did not go as we expected, and I'm so sad that we are not able to be together today. However, we can still celebrate our accomplishments. I remember the day we left for spring break. We got out of school early for inclement weather. Little did I know that it would be nearly 5 months until I saw most of you again. I'm incredibly proud of us, and I'm honored to be part of the Class of 2020. We have shown our resiliency and ability to make the best out of any situation. All of the struggles that we have faced during this strange year have only made us stronger. We are now prepared for anything that life may throw at us in the coming years. I know that online classes were not easy for me and for many other students. However, I also know that transitioning to online classes was also very difficult for our teachers. So I want to say thank you to all of our teachers for everything that you have done for us this year and for helping us to succeed given the circumstances. I would also like to thank our families and our amazing community for supporting us and showing us endless love throughout our journey. I cannot wait to see where all of you go and what you accomplish in life. Congratulations, Class of 2020.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank you for coming to celebrate the Smoky Mountain Class of 2020. My name is Mikkel Mathis, and I'm your senior class president. Today, we look back on our 4 years of Smoky Mountain High School. We've had good times and bad times, times of laughter and of joy, times of school spirit and times that will not be forgotten. On this special occasion, fellow graduates, we celebrate us. We celebrate our achievements, our perseverance, and the milestones that we achieved at Smoky Mountain. Before we move on to the next journey of our life, let us look back on some memories that we shared in freshman year. As we walked through the doors for the first time, we felt a sense of fear and anxiety. Those first days of school were a blur, with frantically trying to make it to school early, then finding our lockers and figuring out where classes were in the maze of hallways, doors, and students. We were terrified that we would get lost and be late for the second bell. Before we entered the room, we hoped and prayed that we knew one familiar face. The one thing I remember from freshman year was attending driver's ed for 2 weeks, not to mention that it lasted 3 hours every day. Freshman year was a time when we cared about our grades, never got a tardy slip, and created lifelong friendships. It seemed just like yesterday that we were scared little freshmen, wandering these halls, and now we're walking through the same halls, wondering where the time has gone. Sophomore year. That's the year that we gained a little bit more confidence and knew our way around the campus. We all thought that we were cool and ruled the school because we no longer had the title of Little Freshies. Sophomore year was filled with new adventures, getting more involved in clubs, and participating in after-school activities. Some believe this to be the easiest year. However, they must not have had Miss Hughes as a teacher. I will always remember that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Thank you, Miss Hughes. Junior year brought a new form of freedom. We were finally upperclassmen. For many of my classmates, this was the year where we had driver's license and finally a paycheck. One tip we learned: if you're going to be late, you might as well get Bojangles or Dunkin' Donut on the way. We all were overwhelmed seeing junior year by studying for chemistry, AP exams, ACTs, and SATs. We began to realize that the days were long, but the years were short. Junior year was filled with questions of what do you want to be when you grow up, finding your group friends, attending your first prom, and enjoying the little moments. We finally made it, senior year. Many of us were pressured with college applications, scholarship deadlines, and stepping up to be the leaders for the underclassmen. Highlights from our senior year were homecoming week, showing our school spirit in the fall sports student sections, attempting to break a world record, giving back to the community in various ways, senior ice cream party, and just being together as a class for one last time. Losing the last part of our senior year to a virus was not what we had planned, but it definitely was an experience that would affect our lives forever, and a memory that we will never forget. To be honest with everyone, when I sat down to write the speech, I really wanted to avoid talking about everything we missed as a class. But when people told me that they were sorry that my whole senior year was turned upside down, I shrugged it off and said it's not a big deal. But it is a big deal. We missed senior week, prom, senior prank, spring of sports, original graduation date, athletic and academic words of ceremony, saying goodbye to our friends, and so many last moments. This pandemic was not the defining event for the class of 2020. Though high school graduation did not look the same for us this year, each senior has been thankful for the outpouring love and support from our community, teachers, and loved ones. All the things that we have been through up to this point makes us who we are. And the best part is, we're not done yet. My fellow graduates, whether you attend college, enter the workforce, or enlist in the military, every past experience has helped shape you into the person you are at the moment. Let's start our futures and impact the world. Congratulations, class of 2020. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rachel Shaw, and for the past year I have had the wonderful opportunity to serve as your student body vice president. First off, we must take this time to reflect and thank the people who supported us the most. Personally, I would like to thank my grandmother, Sherry Shaw, for her constant dedication to my education, supporting me through the highs and lows over the past 18 years. And as a class, we must thank the community for their spirited rounding behind us. Thank you to everyone who adopted a senior, attended the senior parade, and were overall outspokenly sympathetic to the unforeseen pause on our senior year. As a class, we showed resilience to COVID-19. We went beyond the traditional tribulations of senior year known as senioritis. The situation encouraged us to reflect on the significance of the events instead of going through the motions. And I know each one of us now has deeper understanding and gratification towards graduation. With the insights that the classes before never gained, hopefully each one of us uses it to reflect on the importance of the occurrences that seem minute, striving not to take anything for granted. In the next few weeks, we will part our ways exploring the unknowns not bound by Smoky Mountain's A through E buildings. That is scary, so today I want to share with you my philosophy for the present. For almost 2 years, I've had this hot dog suit. And in these 2 years, I've worn it 36 times and counting. I've worn it to school, to away football games, and into Zaxby's. And at first, when I began wearing it, I was extremely apprehensive. I thought I was just going to wear it for one day of homecoming week, and boy was I wrong. Despite how cheesy this sounds, my hot dog suit shifted from a joke to a visualization of self-confidence. I will admit I was uneasy about wearing it in public. What would people think? Won't I look stupid? Or wearing a hot dog suit just annoy people? Or just some of the fears that flooded my thoughts. However, now I know it's better to make a fool out of oneself than being trapped in a constant state of worry. While I think it would be great for almost 200 people to walk around wearing a hot dog suit every day, I know that each one of us has a different mission that sparks confidence. I encourage everyone here today to find their own hot dog suit, something that gives you confidence and inspires you to view the world with humor and kindness. As you enter the workforce, go to college, or join the military, remember that a seemingly small action can change your outlook. Put yourself out there. Do not let intimidation hold you back. When you find your hot dog suit, hold on to it. Stay dedicated to it. But do not stop trying to collect another one. You can never have too many hot dog suits. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2020.
Good evening and welcome, family, friends, faculty, and of course, Smoky Mountain graduating class of 2020. My name is Lindsay Stack and I'm the student body president. First and foremost, I want to take this time to send a huge thank you to our parents, school faculty, and community for their benevolent support and encouragement during this time. In addition, I want to commend the class of 2020 for its resilience and positivity despite having lost the end of senior year. Now I would like to begin this next part of my speech with a pretty basic question. What are some things that you like to share? Sharing isn't necessarily something we like to do. For example, I'm pretty stingy with my food. But I'm sure there is something you each enjoy sharing with others. Perhaps your cooking skills, dad jokes, musical abilities, random knowledge, big ideas, smiles, or hidden talents. In addition to those, I find that so often People look for consolation in sharing their mistakes with others. Hey, did you do the homework? No. Okay, good, I didn't either. As you move forward, I encourage you to instead look to share your success with others. We've all been on both sides of success. Sometimes we are having difficulties and see someone around us succeeding, we become frustrated. Other times we succeed and are blind to the struggles of those around us. It's natural for you to be proud of something you've done well and feel special. However, when you have this success, remember to look at the people around you. Does your success only help you? Does it do anything more than give you a level of personal satisfaction? Your success will be most meaningful when you extend it to those around you. When you find yourself doing a task well, do not let your pride keep you from sharing your triumphs with others. I'm going to tell you about someone whose livelihood revolved around sharing with others. Bob Ross. For those of you who don't know who Bob Ross is, he is the epitome of ASMR. On his show, The Joy of Painting, he taught his viewers his distinct painting method. Although most people probably used his show for therapeutic purposes or to treat their insomnia. Bob Ross utilized his gift of painting to connect with and impart wisdom to his viewers. He created a mutual exchange in which his viewers learned from his positivity, artistic prowess, and Peapod, his pocket squirrel, while he received the joy of sharing his work and connecting with his audience. He also emphasized the idea that anybody can create a masterpiece. This is a perfect parallel to our own lives and what lies ahead. A masterpiece doesn't mean it is flawless. The creator determines its value. A mistake on a canvas is what Bob Ross referred to as a happy accident. This kind of optimistic perspective may be difficult to achieve, however, I challenge you to adopt this mindset. Today, as we reach this milestone in our lives, we are faced with the inescapable task of figuring out what to do next. Starting today, we have the ability to paint our own stories. Let us not be afraid to make mistakes, but rather, let us learn from them, utilize them for personal growth, and adapt. Bob Ross reminds us we don't always have to have a perfect vision of what we're going to paint, and that we simply need to take advantage of what happens. Moving forward, remember to share your successes, remember to make happy accidents, and remember to connect with the people surrounding you. Display your masterpiece in a gallery alongside others, letting each work complement its neighbors. For we are not defined by the things that make us separate and distinct, but by the moments we share and the memories we make.
Hello, my name is Caroline Cowan, and I am truly honored to be presenting the senior gift from the very special class of 2020. We all know this has been a very challenging year, and this year's seniors really wanted to do something special to give back to our school and to make our mark on the future of Smoky Mountain. We wanted something that would be very special, something that would be seen by everyone. Currently, there is a huge banner located at the top of the cafeteria. It has been there for a very long time, and honestly, I'm not sure anyone's the biggest fan of it. Our seniors will replace the old banner with a new one that is big and bright and will lighten up the room and show Mustang pride. Along with the amazing banner, we have another very special gift. We will be donating money to help build a playground for our wonderful EC students. We are so proud of them and everything that they do, and we would like to contribute to something very, very special for them. We are so thankful for everything Smoky Mountain has given to us, and we hope these gifts will give back to the amazing school that has made us the people that we are today. Much love, Mustangs. Congratulations. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Peyton Garrity, and I'm going to be introducing the senior guest speaker tonight. You may recognize his voice from football, basketball, volleyball, and all other sports and events. He graduated from the University of Alabama and has been a teacher at Smoky Mountain for 4 years. He teaches English and psychology. I had the privilege of having both classes with him. The class of 2020 selected Mr. Jason Miller to be our senior speaker because he truly cares about his students and he never fails to make us laugh. Without further ado, I introduce Mr. Miller.
Hello, class of 2020. Congratulations. You've made history, whether you wanted to or not. Ah yes, the class of 2020. The COVID class. The Corona class. I remember all of you making those vision puns, 2020 vision. Didn't see this coming, did you? Regardless, I'm honored and humbled to be your graduation speaker. Thank you for nominating me. In fact, I think I'm kind of the perfect graduation speaker for you guys, and that's no slight to any of my colleagues. It's because we came in together. For those of you that were freshmen at Smoky Mountain High School, your first day was my first day at Smoky Mountain High School. That first morning, 4 years ago, I met some of you for the very first time in my very first class. Let me just name off a few of those bright-eyed, high-energy freshmen I met on day one. Hunter Lassiter, Ethan Grasty, Stacy Gonzalez, Megan Gilmer, Julian Messer, Madison Duncan, Austin Townsend, Derek Farmer, Courtney Thomas, and more. Y'all taught me some really important things that semester. I learned about Caney Fork and Bossum, Panther Town, and the Road to Nowhere. Y'all taught me all about Silva and Webster, Dillsboro, Cherokee, and Cullowhee. And I'll never forget some of the questions you asked me, like, why did you move here? And why aren't you married? And why do you hate Auburn so much? And you've never hunted a bear? As I did my best to answer those questions, I also tried to teach you guys some English, some grammar, and some critical thinking skills along the way. But I know you taught me as well, and you made me feel at home, and I'm grateful for that, and I always will be. Thank you. But enough about the past, right? This is about the future. And I have some practical advice I would like to offer each and every one of you. Just a few things that I wished I had focused on more at your age. Now this first one might be a little hard to hear, but do not buy anything that you do not need right now. Trust me, save every dollar. You're going to need it. Learn to budget your money. The sooner you can accomplish this, the sooner you can gain your own financial independence. Kind of in line with that, start building credit as soon as possible. And don't screw it up. Get a credit card, even if you have to pay a deposit for one, and never, ever miss a payment. Just use it to buy gas or groceries and pay it off every month, if possible. But again, never, ever miss a payment. At least pay the minimum payment. If you don't think you can handle that responsibility, then wait until you can. But you will need to build some good credit eventually. All right, this next piece of advice is really important. Be honest with the new people that are coming into your life. Whether they're your classmates and professors or new coworkers and bosses, be honest and forthright. First impressions matter, but after that you're judged by your actions. Lying's only going to come back to hurt you. And every coworker I've ever disliked in my life, it was because they were dishonest and untrustworthy. Don't be that person. For those of you moving away, watch your back. Trust is earned. A small number of the new people you meet in your life are going to try and manipulate you or use you in some way. An even smaller group of people, they'll straight up steal from you if they get the opportunity. So be careful with the new people you meet. It's not many of them, but still, be careful. Time and experience will help you recognize who these folks are. And at the same time, you need to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Just be wary. Don't commit to trusting someone who hasn't earned your trust. Now, some of you aren't going to like this next one, but hold off on getting a pet until your life is a little bit more stable. You're going to be working and going to school, socializing. You're going to spend most of your time away from your home. So it's not really fair to a new puppy or a kitten if you're not there. Just wait a little while. I know the desire. Just wait though. All right. The last two pieces of advice I want to ask are probably the most important. Be yourself and love who you are. This one's hard because some of you are still and unsure of who you are. 10 years from now, a few of you out here will be exactly like you are today, just a little bit older. But a lot of you will be very different people 10 years from now. Either way, there's only one you in the whole universe. I hope in the years to come, you all will learn to love who you are and come to believe in what you can do. Almost every limitation in your life can be removed by a single person. You. Be stubborn about what you want and who you are, and don't take no for an answer. Lastly, be open-minded and prepared for change. This one's taken on a little bit more meaning in the last few months, obviously. But regardless, even before a global pandemic, before a national civil rights emergency, change was coming for each and every one of you. Even though the class of 2020 has been robbed of the traditional American rite of passage called high school graduation, time is still moving on, and your lives are changing. It's hard to argue that you aren't fully adults at this point. Some of you will be moving away from home. Some of you are going to be starting your careers immediately. Some of you are going to be married with children a lot sooner than you think. Embrace it, even if it's scary. Change is essential to survival and the pursuit of happiness. I want to encourage you all to embrace the social change coming to this country as well, but that's a different speech for a different time. Now, I know for a fact that some of you voted for me as your speaker because you wanted to hear one last story from my life. And I've gone back and forth about what to tell you about. Since finding out about this speech, I've spent a lot of time thinking about my life after high school. The summer before college, I spent working construction full-time. No beach trips, no big city tours. I built a jail. For real. I built a jail I helped to build a jail in rural northeast Alabama, a small county that jail still holds inmates to this day, by the way. On that job, I met two construction workers who had an impact on my life, and I want to tell you about them. Their names were Mr. Smith and Wormy. Mr. Smith was a quiet, fearless, hard-working, more than capable older gentleman that took a whole lot of pride in his work. I witnessed Mr. Smith severely injure himself by falling off a 25-foot wall onto a concrete slab. It was a horrible thing to see and hear. We took about an hour to get a grip on the situation and allow the paramedics in, but after that, I had to go right back to work and help clean up the blood. Mr. Smith survived, but I never saw him work construction again after that. I was pretty much clueless on that job. I was a gopher. Go for this, go for that. But Mr. Smith knew what he was doing. He was a professional. I learned that day when he fell, it doesn't matter how good you are at your job, how you carry yourself, who you are. Mistakes happen. Accidents happen. And we're not promised our health or even our lives. So, carpe diem moment. Time is fleeting. Don't put off to tomorrow what you can accomplish today. Seize the day. There is no guarantee tomorrow will come. And even if it does, there's no guarantee you'll be healthy. So don't waste your time. Now Wormy, he was pretty much the opposite of Mr. Smith. While Wormy was also a hard worker, he couldn't have cared less if that jail was ever completed or not. In fact, he was not looking forward to visiting again one day under different circumstances, which he seemed fairly certain would happen. We even laughed about putting in a false brick so that Wormy could worm himself out one day. Did we? I'll never tell. Wormy was one of those guys that claimed to be a king among men, even though he clearly wasn't. Wormy was married, but he seemed to have at least a couple of other girlfriends. I know this because he almost never stopped joking about them, but also a different lady would bring him lunch on different days of the week. He had fewer teeth than fingers, And he probably only weighed 105 pounds despite drinking nothing but Mountain Dew every day. He was the first person I'd ever met that I knew 100% was only working for the weekends. Wormy loved his time off. He was always late on Mondays and he was our countdown clock on Fridays. And I don't think I ever saw him as happy as leading up to the 4th of July holiday that summer. He had a saying that would start on Wednesdays after lunch and it would grow in volume and intensity until quitting time on Fridays. To this day, I occasionally repeat this saying to myself on Fridays. However, I cannot repeat it till you find people on for such a dignified proceeding. Suffice it to say, his weekend goals involve beer and women. He liked one of them ice cold and the other hot as hell. I'll leave it at that. But that's not the only thing Wormy said that stuck with me. I will never forget the last thing he said to me. In hindsight, I believe it was probably the most honest thing he ever said too. Fittingly, it was a Friday, my last day on the job, and I know he meant it wholeheartedly because he took from his most prized possession, his free time, a moment to say it. We had said our goodbyes, we joked together one last time, and he was turning to leave and he stopped, leaned back in close to me and said, "My life sucks, don't screw up yours." I never saw Wormy or Mr. Smith again after that summer, but those lessons have stuck with me. We only get one ride on this wacky round planet, so make the most of it. At this moment, your life is a giant blank canvas, and in your hand is every shade of paint imaginable, and it's in your hands only. Make your own marks. Don't give up control. But remember, these aren't watercolors anymore either. So emphasize the good. Paint over the bad. Every mark you make is permanent. When things go well, paint. When things beat you down, paint. Just keep on painting. Living. Until one day, you find yourself looking at your own masterpiece. And do not settle for anything less. Thank you for listening. Congratulations. Be well, and good luck to you all.
Greetings, my beloved 2020 graduating class. We made it. What a crazy year it has been. I don't think any of us could have predicted how our spring semester ended. And yet, here we are, together. Even if it is virtual, we are together. I've debated about where to begin. Perhaps the best place to begin would be beginning. Like Mr. Miller, we started high school together. Your first day as a freshman was my first day as an assistant principal at Smoky Mountain. Do you remember how nervous you were? I do. In those first few days, a few of you even asked me for direction. And we found your class together because I was just getting my bearings myself. It seems like just yesterday, and also like a million years ago. Our world is certainly different than those first few years in high school. Looking back, it seems that the beginning of our journey was less fraught with uncertainty and much more simplistic. Dear graduating class, you stand at the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. I know it may feel as though the world around us is in turmoil. I know that you may be fearful about your future and about what it may hold. But I wanted to leave you with a few words that I hope that you will carry with you, wherever your road may lead. I hope that these words give you strength and courage to face whatever uncertainty may lay in your path. First, and perhaps most important, my favorite quote.
Life is uncertain and dangerous. Eat dessert first. Amidst the chaos of working, school, family, friends, remember to enjoy yourself. Remember to take time for yourself and savor something enjoyable. It doesn't have to be chocolate, although I highly recommend it. It could simply be someone's company, a good book, your favorite movie, or taking a hike. Take time to rejuvenate. Take time to reflect. Life can be hard, but we need to find these moments of sweetness and hold on to them. These are the moments that will give us an anchor in the face of uncertainty, and the ability to return to these moments is an important life skill. The second thing, be kind. Kindness in all forms matters. When you see someone being treated in a way that is unfair and unkind, speak up. As a human being, you have a duty to speak up and speak out. You do not have to accept the world as it is. You have the power to make the world as it should and could be. Your unique voice matters, and it needs to be heard. The third thing, you are loved. We have really tried to pour into you during your time at Smoky Mountain High School. Know that wherever your path may lead, you have people within your school that love and support you. You are not alone in this world. You are loved. I'm not worried about our future. In tough times like these, you are what gives me hope. I know that the good that you are all capable of. I have seen it in our hallways. I've seen it in our classrooms. I've watched you carefully for the last 4 years, and you have changed this high school for the better. I have seen it through your actions, big and small. When I think of you as a class, you are a group of hardworking individuals that are able to self-advocate. I see kindness. I see perseverance. I see determination and courage. Overall, you have earned over $1.25 million in scholarship money. This is incredible. I hope that you see what I see, because I've always believed that we are what we believe we are. And all of you are exceptional individuals, and I'm very proud of you. It has been an absolute honor to have played a very small role in your academic journey. I am so excited for each and every one of you. Know that you are loved. Know that you are powerful beyond measure. Know that you are the difference makers. Seniors, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, by the power vested in me by the state of North Carolina, I present to you the graduating class of 2020 for Smoky Mountain High School.